Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, Bitcoin bull Microstrategy CEO Michael Saylor steps down. This is after Microstrategy reported earnings. Was this voluntary or did he do it on purpose? Also, there's other things going on. Solana, big news with Solana, big news with Apecoin, Cardano. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get started. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and make sure you check out all my other channels. Welcome, 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 guys. I'm streaming from my new setup here. Hopefully it's coming through okay. Hopefully you guys are liking this new setup. I did come out with a video on my other channel that kind of went through the whole process. So hopefully you guys like it. But let's get started. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm looking at the chat here. Ooh, a lot of people panicking. So Bitcoin is at 22.7, 22.8, right? So it's straddling that kind of support line. It used to be resistance, now it's support. So Bitcoin is straddling right around 22.8 and 23,000. It's been hovering there. And this morning I talked about, of course, this big setup with Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan or Taipei or Taiwan, and it's supposed to be some kind of secret, meeting. Turned out not so secret, right? There was really no purpose. Then people commented, well, there is purpose because the U.S. needs to stand up to China, right? That's the whole purpose. Well, that could have been, but I'm thinking this is probably the biggest or one of the biggest purposes or the agenda is to meet with TSMC. Now, a lot of you guys don't know TSMC is one of the biggest fab makers in the world. They produce chips for AMD as well as several other big, basically, if you think about big tech, it doesn't even have to be tech, really. They produce chips for everyone, from car manufacturers to chip makers to everything. I mean, they're absolutely essential to the world, right? And it looks like TSMC is looking to expand out of Taiwan. They want to build a chip factory in Arizona, right? So this may be one of the reasons why she's visiting, to kind of get something done on the back end. Who knows? Who knows if that's the case? But Pelosi will be there until tomorrow, right? But they are definitely talking right now. And surprising this morning, markets were really bad, kind of flipped up, but it was overall neutral, still causing a lot of fear about tensions between U.S. and China, whether it's going to lead to anything, right? So far, nothing. Now, what else is there? Robinhood lays off 23% of its staff. Right? 23% of the staff. This is after they laid off 9%. 9% already of their staff. So now it's another 23% on top of it. And basically, CEO Vlad is blaming the crypto market, which is surprising because Robinhood really isn't a crypto app. They added that in later, but Vlad is saying, well, crypto market had a lot to do with our, trading volume and not fees, but overall how they make money on the back end, right? So I guess not a whole lot of people aped into Doge this last quarter, so that's why they're feeling it. So unfortunately that has happened, and Robinhood is a acquisition target for FTX. FTX has a minority stake in Robinhood, and they may just take over altogether. So Sam Bankman-Fried, he's been putting his fingertips pretty much everywhere into all the companies that's somewhat struggling. He wants to basically take over all of them. But yeah, so there's that. All right, now let's talk about Microstrategy Michael Saylor. He steps down as CEO. He's been CEO and chairman since the 80s. He's been the top dog for like 40 years at this company. Okay, but now he's stepping down. Why? Why all of a sudden is he stepping down? People are speculating, right? The company's current president, Fong Li, is going to take over. And there's a new role, executive chairman, that was just created, and Michael is going to be taking over that. But was it because they just suffered a $918 million impairment charge on Bitcoin holdings in Q2? Or this has nothing to do with it, and according to Michael Saylor, it's so that he's freed up so that he can concentrate on Bitcoin strategy and acquiring even more Bitcoins, right? It could be a combination of two. But we know that Michael Saylor is a Bitcoin bull, and he says he will never sell Bitcoin, right? So it could be that, he's just tired of having a CEO role, the day-to-day stuff. He's going to let that go to his counterpart, right? And then he could really think about different ways to expand, I guess, their role into Bitcoin. Kind of like Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey started doing that. He gave up, his seat at Twitter. He wanted to concentrate more on Bitcoin, right? So it could be something like that. But many are speculating whether or not this was voluntary or he was basically told, hey, we need to improve our books and you need to get out of being CEO. Who knows? But there is something in here that's quite interesting. I did read somewhere in here. We know that MicroStrategy did take a loan, right, to buy Bitcoin. So they had to put up some collateral. And where was it in here? Out of their 100, here we go. Out of their 100 and approximately 30,000 Bitcoins, right, it says here that 85,000 is unpledged. This is according to their CFO. So if you do the math, that's over 40,000, almost 50,000 or 45,000 of Bitcoin they did pledge to get that loan or keep it afloat so they don't get liquidated or margin called, right? That's a tremendous amount. 85,000 unpledged out of 130,000. Man, that's like 45,000 Bitcoins they put down to keep their loan active. That's an enormous amount. Enormous amount. But according to CFO, hey, we're okay, right? That loan will never get liquidated or margin called because we can always pledge more. But still, man, that's 45,000 already pledged. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Man, who is this guy? What happened to all the mods on here? We need more mods, man. Where's all the mods? They're not showing up today. All right. Yeah, so now I'm looking at it. I'm getting to it, guys, but there's so many people that are trying to spam it. But, yeah, there is something going on right now with Solana. Okay, so that's the next thing I want to talk about. So it looks like, okay, I don't know. There needs to be more details, but I don't know if this is something on a global scale right now or it's related to some DApp. Okay, but there are people that are also talking about this, how there's a massive exploit and there's a drain going on. There's a ton of people with their Solana being, I guess their wallets being liquidated, right? This just came out, so I'm not quite sure the implications of this. So we know that Phantom Wallet is the major browser wallet for Solana, whether or not that's vulnerable, right? But the one thing I've been telling you guys is this, to safeguard your own crypto, right? So this would be an awesome time to be moving some of your crypto into a hardware wallet like a Ledger or a Treasure or even a non-custodial mobile wallet like Trust Wallet or even Coinbase Wallet. There's a lot of wallets that's non-custodial, right? So that is the next thing. So hopefully this is not a massive exploit that's somehow on the entire chain and every project is being drained. Hopefully that is not the case, and this is just limited to just a few projects. So as more details come in, I will let you guys know. So right now, as you can see, there's just still a lot of FUD right now. A lot of FUD going on right now. All right. What else is there? Well, people asked about ITrustCapital, right? A lot of people were fearful about ITrustCapital because they had login entries. People couldn't get in for a day. It looks like account access have been restored. Investigation turns out to be there's a malicious actor that got in, tried to change some DNS addresses. But the good thing is, according to them, everything's been restored. Client assets have not been touched, right? So this is a good thing. So a lot of people were very fearful. Oh, maybe something else was happening, right? But they were getting hacked, but now they have restored access. So that is good. But recently, of course, we've been seeing a lot of hacks left and right? And hopefully what's going on right now with Solana is not something massive, right? Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. Let's just, since that's the hot topic right now, let's go to Solana and see if they've reported anything here. No, nothing right now. So, all right, well, I'll keep you guys apprised as developments happen. All right, now moving forward, what else is there? Well, as for Bitcoin overall, a lot of people think that we're going to see better days. Anthony Scaramucci, Mooch, thinks that Bitcoin already bottomed, thinks it has a fair value of 40,000, and thinks that all the bad leverage has been wiped out from the space because of Three Arrows Capital, because of Voyager and Celsius and everyone else, right? And that's fair to assume, right? We had, and obviously Terra also, and you put all that together, that's tens of billions of dollars wiped out, right? Using unnecessary leverage, and because of it, Bitcoin fell down to 70,000. So many people feel like, yeah, that was the bottom, and now we are recovering from that bottom. So 40,000, that's a fair value price. Not too shabby. Also, of course, it's not just him and Michael Saylor that are still trying to accumulate Bitcoin. If you look at addresses with over 10,000 Bitcoin is on the uprise. So there's many, many whales, ultra mega whales that are accumulating by a ton, right? So that shows, yeah, there's a lot of whales that's buying. European Central Bank, they released a new research report saying Bitcoin has a properties which would seem to make it potentially suitable to be the holy grail of cross-border payments. That's a pretty big endorsement right there. The ECB, Christine Lagarde, I don't know if she's really against crypto. I don't remember her being negative, but this is a pretty big endorsement, right? This is pretty big. So that's good. Also, what's good is it looks like stable coins. There's a massive amount of stable coins, and that's because there are a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, holding on to cash, right? But there are charts that are showing that stable coins are starting to come down, and that's because people are starting to get more comfortable and starting to buy back in, which is why we're recovering from our bottom, right? So that is really good because we have hundreds of billions of dollars in stable coins waiting to come back. Think about that. Hundreds of billions of dollars. So good. So very bullish. And also here's a bullish macro trend. Of course, we see a lot of these, right, based on the logarithmic growth curve. And if so, if we have hit that bottom, then we are on the way up, and who knows where the top of the next cycle will be, or what the top of this cycle. You could argue we didn't have that top this cycle, right? So we're still looking forward to that. And what else is there? Well, this is talking about the good times to be dollar cost averaging and buying the dip, right? There's been a few moments throughout Bitcoin's history, and right now is one of them. We're closer to bottom than we are to top, that's for sure, right? So this is just pinpointing that. All right, so those things are Bitcoin. As for altcoins, a few good things, I guess. Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, Cardano founder, he basically said that they delayed Vasil hard fork once again, right? This is the second time. And it's due to them making sure that they want to get things right because of all the things that's happening. He doesn't want to rush anything out. He wants to make sure the code is perfect, right? Especially now with everything that's happening, right? With all the hacks and stuff that we're seeing, right? He wants to make sure things are okay before releasing, right? There's no need to rush. So people get, they bash Cardano, they bash Charles sometimes because of these kind of delays, right? But, he's doing the opposite of what some of these other chains are doing, which is to make sure and double and triple and quadruple check before releasing new code, right? But the good thing is their side chain that's EVM compatible was a Milko Meta. Not familiar with this one, but this EVM compatible side chain is growing by leaps and bounds already. 100,000 wallet addresses, 7.5 million transactions. So this is very, very encouraging for Cardano, right? So pretty good for them. Also, out of the blue, luxury brand Gucci adds Apecoin. So now, if you wanted to, you can use Apecoin to buy things. Buy your favorite luxury Gucci stuff. Okay, that out of nowhere. Noah, I love George, that's all. Thanks, Noah. Excuse me. Is my sound different? I did change my my Shure microphone settings to have more bass, so maybe that's why some people are saying, oh, there's too much bass. But I could change it later if you guys don't think if you think the bass is too high. All right, moving on. What else is there? All right, so there's Shib news. For those of you guys that are Shib fans, they're releasing an all new game, a card-based game, right? And that's going to be released on Apple and Google Play, right? And if you look at it, it's called Shib Eternity. So they are moving forward with gaming and just developing. And also, I didn't know this, but they're coming out with their own Visa card. And the Visa card will actually burn Shib every time people use it. So they are really growing. They're burning left and right. There's people, of course, that are burning voluntarily right now by sending to a burn address. But they are moving forward. So they're having two games now. Their metaverse, this, right? And they're burning and their layer 2. I mean, they are just pushing forward. So that's good for them. And I mentioned about Solana already. So the base can never be too high. Oh, man. All right. That is pretty much it. Again, I talked about Solana. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I have not seen any other updates with it. But hopefully this is not a massive exploit that is draining everyone out. But if you do have a ledger, you do have another wallet, right, that you control, a non-custodial wallet, it may be a good idea to transfer your soul into it. Okay, so just throwing that out there. All right, that is pretty much it. I don't have anything else. There's a lot of stuff going on today. I don't have coin market cap up. Here we go. I don't want notifications. And I want night mode. All right. Yeah, this probably don't have my settings because I am on a new computer here. And my color in the background is not meant to be Solana's colors. They just happen to be good looking. I think I can always change it. All right. Scrolling through a chat here. I hope everyone gets rich. Well, I certainly hope so. That's one of my wishes. Any thoughts on CADX? I have not used their new app yet, but from what I've seen before, it looks promising, but I haven't used it yet. How can we trust any crypto when everything seems to be hacked? Well, Lyle, that's why you take control, right? Don't rely on the exchanges. Don't rely on anywhere where you don't control your own keys, right? So you can simply transfer your crypto to a wallet that you control. That is the safest. So that's what I say. I know right now there are a lot of hacks going on right now, right? It seems to have escalated. Seems like the hackers are taking advantage right now, right? And these hacks are massive, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? But overall, I know it's early, and a lot of these projects, they grew a little bit too fast, even for their own good. But over time, these companies will figure it out, right? But in the meantime, safeguard your own crypto. You have that ability. GI Chow time. Rich, the chat is on crack today. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Can't they just reboot Solana and start over? Well, they have done that a couple of times. So I don't know. I don't know if that's go be one of the solutions. Will I trade my Tesla in for Lucid? No. Lucids look kind of cool, but I hear problems about them too, and I don't think they're all that good. And Lucid can't really manufacture, so they're gonna have some problems. Chelsea, appreciate it. Smoke ETH every day. I want to take 20% of my ETH pre-update and get it into his layer 2 and get into layer 2's Unimatic Aave curve best. Are you asking if that's a good idea or which one of those are best? I think they're all pretty good. Layer 2s are starting. I mean, not layer 2s. Layer 2s and DeFi, specifically DeFi, are starting to gain in strength. Because people, obviously not trusting CeFi as much as before, right? I would say Uniswap, Matic, Aave, Curve, they're all good choices. Yeah, by the way, I just got, I don't know, those of you guys that used Celsius, right? I just got their Chapter 11 filing. They sent like a booklet, or like a FedEx kind of envelope kind of thing of like this many pages with their Chapter 11 filing. I'm just thinking, how many of that did they send out, and how much money did they spend just sending out those papers, right? It's crazy. Curvins, appreciate it. Should you still safeguard your crypto if you do not trade on exchanges? Sure. I mean, why not? You could always safeguard your crypto even if you don't trade. Let's see if I can find. What do you do when you start getting burnt out from all the crypto FUD? I mean, just take a break, man. Johnny, you just said you were checked out for a while, right? Just check out for a while. It's okay. Although I do think things are getting better, but if you're getting hurt by these hacks and stuff, I can certainly understand. But just take a break. It's okay. It's okay. Crypto will still be here when you get back, right? Why you never talk about Chronos? A lot of fans here. I don't know about that. I do talk about Chronos quite a bit. There's nothing to talk about right now. Chronos, I mean, it's a chain from crypto.com. Crypto.com isn't doing so well right now either. And Chronos has a few DeFi projects, but some of them just kind of look shady to me. So that's pretty much it. I haven't heard really much else about Chronos. Your audio is hitting a compressor in the new setup too hard. Let's see if I could change that. I don't know if I could change it on the fly. Let me see here. I have it on near natural. Okay, I made some changes here. You guys let me know how this sounds. If it sounds better. I took that deep bass away. Oh, it does sound better? Okay, good. Good. Sounds much sexier. I don't get why people go with hot wallets. Just get a Ledger and stake in Soulfire. I mean, a lot of people don't want to deal with cold wallets. First of all, they don't understand it. They don't bother learning it. And second of all, it's a nuisance for some people because they want to be able to trade, right? So that's why they leave a lot on exchanges so they can pick up and trade whenever they want to. But honestly, if you're holding a large amount, like a large bag of something, and you don't plan on moving it, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't put on a cold wallet or just stake it long term. Something, that makes sense. But I think a lot of people just don't want to deal with learning something new or moving things. Michael Saylor, I'm on a boat. Look at me. Yeah. So who knows what the real reason is? Maybe a combination, but we do know that Saylor's stepping down as CEO. I'm pretty sure he's still going to be very active on Twitter, and he's still the executive chairman, right? So it's a new role. I'm sure I forgot how the percentage of the company he owns, but it's a large amount. I remember his voting rights was like 40 or 50% or something. So he's not going away, and they're not really going to tell him what to do. But, the role of CEO, the day-to-day stuff, may be too much for him. Or maybe he's done it so long, he's just tired of it. George, my wife likes your George reacts on Will Smith. I'm glad because a lot of people I notice, well, I think most people liked it, but I did see some comments saying, "Oh, I'm too harsh on him" and stuff. Honestly, if you guys just look at the video, I think you'll come to the same conclusion as me. He did not really apologize. He keeps saying, "I apologize," but he didn't say, "I'm sorry" to Chris Rock. And then his water bottle placement, it turned out to be his son's water bottle or something like that. That was awkward, and the whole thing was just awkward, right? But I want to do more reaction videos like that. I got another one I'm working on already. Pop rocks, I appreciate that. I do. Maybe a Litecoin army neon sign for your background. No thanks. No thanks. Pelosi was checking out the new Nvidia factory. No, I think what she's more worried about is this. I covered this at the beginning. She's meeting with TSMC. TSMC, if you look them up, is absolutely massive. This is the reason why the U.S. is so interested in Taiwan, in my opinion, because of TSMC. They produce so many chips for so many things. And that is the one company they do not want to lose to China. So I think a lot of why she's there is due to talking with them and talking about their new chip factory in Arizona. So just throwing that out there. MTMD, appreciate it, man. I guess you guys want to see some signs in my background, right? I'll have to hang up some signs or something like that. Put my Bitcoin poster in the background or something. We need an I Am George podcast. Well, I kind of have one already. I have the I Am George channel. So that is kind of relating to my life, more vlog style. And then I have the George Reacts. I really want to build upon that. And of course, I have this. I have my card channel. I mean, I'm loaded with channels. The problem with MicroStrategy is that they bought all that Bitcoin at all-time high. Saylor should have waited, right? Yes. That's why he took almost $1 billion impairment charge, a write-down basically, this quarter. It did seem like Saylor was a little bit, he felt too much FOMO, along with a lot of people, right? So kept buying. It seemed like MicroStrategy had endless cash pile, right? Kept buying, taking loans, selling bonds, right? And then finally putting down collateral to borrow and buying Bitcoin with it, right? It seems like he's finally like run out of money, but yeah, all of that was toward the top. So unfortunately, his average price is still in the 30s, right? And that's why he had to take this impairment charge. But, the good thing about Michael Saylor is he said he's not going to sell and that he's staying true to his word, right? Unlike Tesla, who said, they had to sell for some liquidity and stuff, right? At least Michael Saylor is like, you know what? I'm not going to sell. It may look bad near term, but it's going to look good long term. So you got to give him credit for that. Cal, I hope so. And I do think I will. I will make many people life-changing wealth and, more importantly, financial freedom. George Saylor. I wonder if Pelosi's husband owns TSMC stock. That's a good question. I don't know if foreign stock needs to be reported. I know, domestic stock, but foreign stock, I don't know. DCA tomorrow. Tomorrow will be another DCA day. Do you think selling Luna Classic, it can fall under the Luna transactions? So I'm not quite sure what you're asking about. What does that mean? I don't know. Holy Monkey says, I know why they care about the background. They want that BDC sign or something else. Well, I may just project it. Maybe get a Bitcoin projector or something like that. Is Robinhood the next Voyager? Hopefully not. They don't loan out crypto, right? Not like Voyager, so they should be fine, but doesn't mean that they don't have financial problems. But FTX may be coming to the rescue. Who knows? With that said, Saylor is doing better than Do Kwon. Well, that's true. That's true. Lord Hellcat, man, I could have used you earlier. A lot of spam. You need to be in here more often, man. Hey, Rich, I see you in here all the time. I'm going to make you a mod, all right? Hopefully you could help out there. Are you invested in Luna 2? Where can we stake? No, Dan. No. Do Kwon is going to get arrested. No one really knows what's going on with this new chain. There's no development. All the dam makers moved away. There are a group of people that's trying to pump Luna Classic now, right? But the whole project, there's no more direction anymore. There's nothing that could push them forward. So no, I've gone out completely. Any update on Dash? No, not really. Geostone, thank you. For next year's tax filing, do you think most big exchanges will provide documentation showing Luna purchases were at a loss for anyone who didn't have the opportunity to sell before it tanked? I mean, they should. Most of the big exchanges do, but you could just also file yourself. I mean, you can prove it. So, yeah. Hellcat, I understand. I just messing with you. All right, guys. That is it for tonight. Overall, Bitcoin is holding on, not too shabby, but a lot of big news today. Pelosi causing a lot of fear, tensions rising between U.S. and China because of it. Robinhood not doing too well right now. Michael Saylor stepping down as CEO, right? And we have something going on, some kind of exploit going on with Solana, right? So there's a lot of FUD out there. But the good thing is Bitcoin is staying strong. Bitcoin is moving forward. And not just Bitcoin. There are other projects that are moving forward as well. So stay strong, my friends. I'll let you guys know what's going on with Solana as I see it. Hopefully, this is not going to be a huge, massive exploit that's going to drain a lot of people's wallets. Hopefully, that's not the case, but I will let you guys know as soon as I hear more. All right, guys, have a good one. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early at 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.